Canadian government has started regular express entry draws like it was before pandemic every 2 weeks, and we are slowly getting there. Before pandemic, they used to invite around 2,500 or 3,000 people each draw. So we are almost getting through the pre-pandemic levels of invitations each draw.
I've been hearing about the C-19 bill that is being going around. So my concern is that because many people are saying that with the C-19 bill, uh, they will be selecting the candidates based on the NOCs. So the problem over there that arises is that your NOC may or may not be selected, right? So I'm hoping that learning French will give us that edge that we can go into that category. That
Yes, absolutely. With this uncertainty of change in the express entry system, NOC based draws, it's the best way you can isolate yourself from that, you know, inconsistency or unpredictability is by getting good in French in the next whatever 6, 7, 8 months you have till the time express entry changes. Because for sure, they will be inviting people based on NOCs, based on specific professions that they lack in Canada. But at the same time, they really, really need more francophone people in Canada because they have a huge region with sparse population. So for sure, even with the new changes in the express entry system early next year, there will be a separate stream for people who are proficient in French. And that is probably the best safeguard that one can have to counter against the unpredictability that will be introduced by the changes. So extremely important to that we start working hard on the French right now so that by the time they change the system or whatever, we are in the good position to, still get invited. So let's start with importance of French or why learn French. We could say immigration. Yes, that is why we are mostly here. I am a success story. I am legal permanent resident of Canada, although I am now living in France, in Paris. I went through this journey just like you, starting from scratch. I literally had no other option to boost my CRS score apart from learning French. Most important benefit of learning French is immigration to Canada or even honestly speaking, other francophone countries, although they do not have the straightforward programs like Canada, like anybody can apply. But after coming to France, I realized that how how useful it was to be proficient in French. My path to immigration to France or in Europe is much more easier because of French as compared to without it. Getting a job here or making a career here or even socializing here, it opens quite a few doors if you speak French. Okay. And in Europe itself, we have France, we have Belgium, we have Luxembourg, we have Switzerland. We have quite a few countries where there's a huge French speaking region or French speaking population. So, and obviously industries and job also. So, while we are focused on immigration to Canada, and rightly so, because it's a straightforward process, and they usually process your applications in 6 to 8 months, which is the shortest possible time to immigrate into a new country. So that remains our focus. But keep that in mind. For some reason, if you invest considerable amount of time in French, let's say 10 months or 1 year or 14 months, 16 months, and somehow immigration to Canada doesn't work out, whether due to factors beyond your control or within your control, whatever may be, still, knowledge of French or French skills can get you numerous other opportunities, whether professional or immigration wise or anything. So keep that in mind. The investment of time and effort that you're doing in French is worth it beyond immigration to Canada. In fact, even if you get invited to Canada, even inside Canada, it's very, very useful. I'm actually the good guy to talk about it because I was also supposed to immigrate to Canada. That was the plan, of course, right? That's why I studied French and gave the exam. But of course, the you know pandemic happened and everything kind of got disrupted. Eventually, I ended up in France, in Paris, coming to a completely different life. But this wouldn't have been possible without French. This possibility wouldn't have been there at all without French. So keep that in mind that French has many benefits. But when we talk about immigration to Canada, what are the programs that give you benefit? So of course, express entry, and you get a good CRS benefit up to 74 CRS points for French as a second language. So the first significant benefit that you get for French is when you get CLB 7. When you get CLB 7, you get 62 CRS points extra, right? For getting CLB 7 score in all four sections of TEF or TCF Canada, that is reading, listening, writing, and speaking. You get 62 CRS points for CLB 7, and if you can score CLB 10 level score, then you get 74 CRS points extra, which is the maximum benefit that you can get for French as a second language. So this is the CRS point benefit that you get for express entry programs. Now, apart from express entry, which you are aware, there are other programs in Canadian immigration system where French proficiency is useful. For example, we have OINP, Ontario Nomination Program. They have a stream called as French Skilled Worker. So you become eligible for this stream if you have CLB 7 score in TCF or TF Canada. Again, the same requirement. We have SINP, Shakshik One Provincial Nomination, where you start getting French benefit right from CLB 4. You don't even need CLB 7 to start getting benefit. You can start getting extra points in the SINP program stream starting from CLB 4. But obviously, if you have CLB 7, you will get more benefit. So you start at CLB 4, but if you have CLB 5, 6, 7, you get more and more benefit in SINP. Apart from that, there is also Quebec Immigration. It goes without saying that Quebec Immigration has more emphasis on French because that's a French francophone region of Canada. Quebec also has its own immigration programs where CLB 7 score in TCF or TF Canada really helps. So if you are interested in this, you can also explore this part. We also have French immigration benefit for Manitoba and New Brunswick. So for New Brunswick provincial nomination program, application processing priority is given to the francophone applicants. Okay, so see, these are all the benefits that are possible for various Canadian immigration programs. As I mentioned earlier, we are into the domain of French, training for French. We are not in the domain of immigration, so I'm not going to go into super minor details of every program. But I just wanted to talk about briefly all these possibilities that you have. You feel free to go to internet or your immigration consultants or agents and explore these programs in the benefit of French language proficiency that you get in the context of all these programs. This C19 bill and the changes in express entry that we touched upon, I just wanted to reiterate, starting about February or January, end of February next year, is they're going to conduct NOC based draws, as somebody mentioned, right? And that's correct. But at the same time, even if that happens and that creates a lot of uncertainty, which NOCs will be selected and which not, and everything, if you are CLB 7 in French, you can, or most likely you'll be part of another stream within this new system where it doesn't matter which NOC, what is your profession, primary profession. Because you have CLB 7 in French, you will still be applicable in the new scheme of things. So that's a very real possibility, and that can safeguard you against all the unpredictability, all these new changes or uncertainty about certain NOCs. So that's super important also. BBarters has been doing this for the last 2.5 years, as you're aware. We are slightly unique than other institutes in a way that we don't have many teachers. We have only one principal instructor, and that is myself as I'm speaking. And I'm now living in France for the last 1 year. And the very reason for me moving here was that I learned language, the French language, as it is spoken on the streets, in the cultural context, with the everything, so that I can help better my students. The reason why we don't have many teachers, instructors, is that we are very purist when it comes to teaching. My passion for teaching was the primary reason for starting this endeavor. It wasn't just to make money. We are on the lookout for teachers who are passionate, who are funny, who are creative, who can make difficult things easier for people. And it's pretty difficult to find such trainers. It is difficult. We have tried, and we continuously try, obviously. But it's not easy because good teachers are not a lot. They're not in abundance. And that's the reason that we don't have like a lot of batches. Like you see some other institutes, they will have like A1, A2, B1, B2 all running at the same time, multiple batches. Anytime you can go and pay and start. That's because they can just, basically hire anybody who has credentials for teaching French. We don't do that. Can we do that? Technically, yes. We could also hire people who have done Delft V2 and just start multiple batches all the time. But it doesn't work for us because we do not make compromise when it comes to teaching. I cannot. I will rather not do this than just doing something where our instructors just, bore people to death. It's not a very good business strategy, honestly, because you don't make a lot of money. But that's how it is for us. We focus a lot on fun. It's super important for us to make people laugh, as you might have noticed from the sessions. As in itself, this journey is super difficult. Trying to do this CLB7 in such a limited amount of time, it's very stressful, very intimidating. So fun is very, very important. And this time we have this unique advantage of being based in France, Paris. We we have a lot of people available here to help us, my friends, my colleagues at work, and everybody. So they're super enthused to help you guys more and more.
And please follow us on our social media channels in order to remain updated about our program offerings and make most of all the information that we like to share with you about French, about Canadian immigration programs, and how to best prepare for TEF and TCF Canada exams. Merci beaucoup.